Hello, good evening, and welcome to the FB4 Daily for this Friday night. With me tonight is Karl Coppack, and we're going to have a little chat around the Watford game tomorrow evening at Vicarage Road. We're going to have a little look forward towards Chelsea in the FA Cup. It's Ronnie Moran's birthday, and Karl would like to speak about the man, and that's absolutely fine. This show is brought to you by Paddy Power, bookies, a website and an app. If you gamble, please gamble responsibly, and remember to do so with Paddy Power. All random comments are welcome at any stage from now until we finish this show, as always. But any football stuff or anything around Liverpool is absolutely welcome too. Let's go. And here we go. Karl, 4 wins are needed for Liverpool to be crowned Premier League champions for 2019-20. It's currently around the 28th of February or something like that. And we've spoken about this before on plenty of shows you've been on with me. It's a ridiculous stat to think that Liverpool have this amount of points amassed on the 28th of February. How's the nerves though? Because 4 games is to win is absolutely no problem. But I'm not saying you're nervous about us not winning the league title, but is there something there you just go, just get them done, just get them done?
Well, I was actually going to talk about work on this call, but I just remembered something. I had a call with my local club today, it was Hendon FC, and I might be doing a fundraising with them. And they said, well, when Liverpool come down here for the Charity Shield, and we might organise a fundraiser with your fans or something. I said, it's far too early to talk about that yet. And he just laughed at me. And I said, but I've been here before. So it is 4 wins. I am still not taking anything for granted. Although someone can confirm this, because Leicester lost tonight, does that mean they can't win the league?
We are 1 win, according to Avo on the chat. 1 win needed to be guaranteed runners-up.
Well, that's what I've been doing for the last 6 weeks. If you follow me on Twitter, I've been doing Norwich can no longer win the league on the 4th of January or something like that. And I've been going up the table steadily. Just sort of claiming them all off.
I can tell you Leicester are currently have 10 games left, and the max they can get now is 80 points. So one more win guarantees us second place. Chris Brack follows that in with win tomorrow, top 2 guaranteed. City only team left to go mathematically catch us. A step closer after Leicester's results, said Stephen O'Connor. We win tomorrow, mathematically they can't catch us. So that's Leicester finally done and dusted in the Premier League race for 19-20. And as I reminded you already, it's the 28th of February. But I'll go back to the original question. Is there anything in you that says, just like, how quick do you want these 4 wins? Do you want them just bang, 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 bang? Or are you quite happy if it's in the next 6 or 7?
I've never had half a season off. I think that'll just be really weird. It's just like, March, and you're going into work and you're seeing your mates and they're talking about, if we win, we beat Arsenal or something, and then we get top 4. I'm thinking, well, I'll see you again in August. It's done. It's just been really. We could literally have 5 months off football.
If we won our next 3, and say we won our next, like they're saying 4 to win it, but if we won our next 3 and say City lost a game and we were crowned champions, we could have 8 games left as champions, which is it's roughly 20% of the season where you know where you are. That's outrageous, isn't it?
And I read this the other day, did we play 2 or 3 times before City do again as well?
Yeah, because they have the League Cup final
on Sunday.
Yeah, and then the FA Cup is thrown in somewhere, so you're going to miss. It's a bit strange the way the whole fixtures have worked out. But yeah, I think we play 3 times before they play again.
I think it's 3. Yeah, because we've got Bournemouth, haven't we?
Yeah, we have Watford, Bournemouth.
To look at the table. Watford, Bournemouth. So I don't think it's going to be 4 games. I think City are going to go, do you know what? That's enough. I think them beating Madrid is a big thing. I think that's going to completely recalibrate their season. Yeah. Because to be honest, it would be for me if I was 20 odd points behind. Yeah. And I think I've just beaten Madrid. All I'm going to do now is think about Madrid at home and keeping them out. So that's going to be their first biggest scalp in Europe. They haven't done that yet. They haven't beaten anyone really huge. Yeah. Someone's going to correct me on that, but I can't think of one at the moment.
I remember them. Didn't they get to a semi-final against Madrid? Yeah. And they were terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. But I think you're right. I think they might need to recalibrate and reassess the season and go, we're not putting any risk into the league now. Leicester aren't gonna follow us, in for second place.
Particularly with the UEFA situation as well, they'd love to win it.
That throws a massive spanner in. Yeah, massive spanner. Very quickly on a 2-year ban and a £30 million, €30 million fine. What do you think comes over in the end?
I maybe 1 year ban, because the reason they've gone so big on this is so they can, that UEFA, they've done it so much so they can bring it down to something else.
A year.
It's never going to be like that. Yeah, there's no way it's going to be 2 years. They'll go, let's bring it down to a year.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fair enough. That's absolutely fair enough. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. Avo says the pressure's right on Watford now. Will they battle or bottle? Just on Watford, before you get in, sorry, JJ says, Gav, you promised me Goodison we will win the league. We need 4 wins. Our next 4 league games are obviously Watford, Bournemouth, and then there's a home game in there somewhere. Who's the home game against?
Burnley.
Is it Burnley? And then
I think it's Burnley.
I'll have a look at it now. But I still think
I've got Villa as well at some point.
Yeah, I still think it will be. No, is it Palace? No, Palace is a bit later. Yeah. Is it Palace?
Oh, is it? Okay.
There's so many names in my head now. But before we get on to Liverpool, Watford. Nigel Pearson came in. His first game was against us around Christmas time, New Year's time, and they got a decent bounce off it, and they went on a decent run. They seem to be on a bit of a mixed run at the moment, and I don't know whether that bounce has gone completely out of them. Going into this one, what's your feelings on Watford? Because they are in the bottom 3; they're there for a reason. But is it for you? Does it stick out as one of the more trickier fixtures we're going into?
I think they all are. The way the Norwich game went, it's interesting what Klopp said. Like, the 20th side in the league is still a bloody good side. So you could say we're just going to walk over them 4-0 or anything like that. I really like Troy Deeney. I still really, really like Troy Deeney. And maybe that's because I'm a throwback to the 70s and the big bruise and number 9. And I loved what he said about Arsenal. And I wish more players would talk about Arsenal like that. So they haven't got the bollocks to fight. And that's why we always do so well against them. And I think that sort of team, they're a Nigel Pearson team, aren't they? Sort of meat and potatoes type team with Delafeu. And that's about it. So it's not going to be easy. I've been saying this week in, week out, really. If they play our best, we play their best. Hang on, I was going to start that again.
Yeah, go ahead.
If they play to the best of their ability and we play to the best of ours, Liverpool win.
Yeah.
And that's the best you can ask for, really. So it's not going to be easy. I still think we'll win and keep the run going. I don't think we're not going to lose. I can't. Please don't record that.
Mm-hmm. It's out there now, Carl. Sorry.
It's going to be. We've had harder games, and I think we will have harder. From what I can remember, I was at the Anfield game, and I thought they were all right.
I thought they were as well.
But they didn't have enough, because they basically just kept hiding and basically putting people in midfield, and then they couldn't get out, really.
I do remember.
But they defended quite well.
I do remember the matches they had where they had probably 2 half chances, and that's what matches they showed. Them 2 chances and us scoring 2 goals, and that was the end of the coverage.
Yeah,
and it annoyed me.
It was the Mane offside, wasn't it? By his bootlace.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, exactly. Chris says if we beat Watford, it's 12 away wins in a row. That'd be a new record. Didn't know that. Watford would have been a perfect game for a Henderson or a Milner. Of course, both of them are out. Along with Shaqiri. Yeah, I think it would have been a perfect game. But a little bit of blood and guts needed, and I think they can supply it. But we're facing up to a period now where the league is in our hands. It's one of those where if we do our business over the next 3 to 4 weeks, the league title is secured, and then we probably recalibrate and reevaluate.
And we absolutely do. We absolutely do.
What's your feelings on that? Do you think we reevaluate and go, no, we want to go unbeaten? That's a major thing for us, or do you think we'll take the league as it comes, but the Champions League, provided we get past Atletico Madrid, and then win the league afterwards? Does that whole invincible thing get pushed to the side a little bit for you?
No, I want it. I want it.
Oh, you want it? I want it.
Yeah, I do.
What do you think? What do you think the team wants?
I think it's a pride thing involved, because basically, if we go through the whole game and draw one game and win all the others, then I think that kills football. I really think, because what do you do after that? There's only one thing you can do, and that's impossible. And I think that those lads would want that record. And just think, if you want to, it's amazing that people are slagging us off when there's every chance we could just drop 2 points all season. And that'll just be an amazing thing. I think Klopp feels the same way about that as well. But Atletico's not going to be easy, so I think maybe that might come under threat for that. But we've been saying this all season, haven't we, guys? I was saying in December, like, if we get through to unbeaten in December, that's going to be incredible. Then I had a look at January and thought, well, this isn't good. We won every game in there as well.
Yeah.
So nearly there. My really worry is we're looking a bit tired. Even though we had the time off, I think we were very rusty against West Ham.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I thought we looked a bit rusty against Norwich.
Yeah, we did. Definitely
and I just thought at the time we're just playing our way back into it, because no matter how much, and there was talk that KLOPP, and I've mentioned this a couple of times because it was something I read in the lead up to the Shrewsbury FA Cup game, where they were going, why isn't KLOPP there and why isn't he playing players? And the talk is that he'd given the team a week off and he was going to do a mini pre-season the following week in the lead up to the Norwich game. And when I seen the Norwich game, I thought, listen, they're just playing their way back into it. It's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
The Atletico game, it still stood out for me, and the game on Monday night, it stood out again. Having said that, I feel that with those 3 games played, and now another 5 days until we play Watford, I think I think you may see a different Liverpool tomorrow. That's just my belief, because I believe they will get into a rhythm, and something will just click in training, and then bang, we're back. Those 3 competitive games following the break, I think will really, really stand to us. Question for you though. JJ says, guys, I've won tickets for the Derby game. He's in Everton's main stand near the Gladys Street end. Okay. Will I get my head kicked in because I'm with my son, or will there be Reds everywhere?
I don't go in the home end of Goodison. I think it'll be okay.
Do you not think there'll be a little bit more of an edge if this is a game that Liverpool could score?
Oh, well, there's talk of them not going.
Oh, they'll go. They will go.
Of course they will. That's all they got.
Yeah.
But if they beat us and deny us the championship and they boycott it, that will be peak Everton. But so they're going to go, but they're talking about not going at all. As long as you keep your head down, you're okay.
Okay,
should be fine. It's not as bad as it used to be. It's not as bad as people make out.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
But I'd do it.
He's down. If he's in the main stand near the Gladys Street end, I think he'd be fine. If you're in the Gladys Street end, I'm not too sure.
Or the park end, but yeah.
Listen, if you have or the park end, yeah. But if you have what you could do is, if you have the tickets on you, you could look for a swap for the Bullens, and you could try get as close as you could to the Liverpool fans.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's what I do. Was I look for a swap, because somebody in there, I'd probably rather be in the Gladys Street, and you'd rather be up where Liverpool are close to Liverpool.
I've got a confession about Goodison. I bloody love it. I think it's a great ground. I really love Goodison Park, because it's horrible, and it should be horrible.
Yeah.
And it should be, we don't want you here. And I really like that about certain football grounds. I don't like the Emirates. I don't want a cinema seat.
Yeah.
I want to feel like we're putting you bastards there, because it makes winning even better.
Yeah. You want to hear this? You want to hear the ground creak around you.
The wood, literally the wood.
Yeah. Yeah. The opportunity of a treble is so rare, says Chris Brack. Need to take the chance when it presents itself. But I think Chris, I know where you're coming from. I think Karl is right though. You have to, like me, when I look up games in blocks of 4, Karl is right. When you get to a certain period, i.e., if you've progressed past Atletico Madrid and you're champions, you do have to reevaluate where you're looking, because you could put everything into the Invincibles basket and something happens in the Champions League. Although the Champions League is easy to focus on because the teams and the quality you're playing against is so good. So Chris says Everton away 1-1, then in the 90th minute Pickford drops the ball and Henderson buries it to secure the league. We can all dream. We can absolutely all dream. Going into this tomorrow though, Karl, I've mentioned Shaqiri's
Can I just add one thing about that?
You can.
I'm not drinking in 2020.
Right.
I haven't drank since the Wolves home game.
Ridiculous
decision to my boss said, my boss said, what are you going to break it for? But so my mate's 15 August, so me and his brother are going to go to Berlin, so I'll have a few there. And other than that, I'll only be drinking May to July.
Okay.
I mean, probably in one go.
Right, so May to July.
If we win the league at Goodison,
you're drinking May to July and then August.
Daily.
But you're off the drink for 2020.
Yeah.
Great. I think you might have been spending a lot of time with Andy Young of LFC Day Trippers fame, who claims to have done a dry January, but he only drinks on the weekends. and stands by the fact that it's a dry January. You and him may need to get together in some sort of
that's the vegetarian wafer thin ham thing, isn't it?
Of course it is. And you may need to get together in some sort of tag team to come back and have a go at me, because I will tell you it's not a dry January. It's not. We came to an agreement of a moist January, which I think he went away quite happy with, but a little bit upset at the fact that I was telling him what to call his January. So there you go. But going into the game tomorrow, you know, we've mentioned there Shaqiri's out. Look, the news Shaqiri is out is not real news at the moment, I don't think. But Henderson being out, we knew about it. And Milner, still struggling with a slight muscle strain, is out as well. But when we go into this, what are you looking for from the side? Because Watford are going to have to come out and fight. Now, people do say, you get teams, you know, resting some players against us because they don't have any hope and target games the following weekend. I get that. But at home, it's hard to do that, isn't it? They're going to have to come out.
I always think the opposite, to be honest.
Do you?
We're shit, but we beat Liverpool.
Yeah. And that pushes you to the rest of the season.
Yeah. Because let's face it, that's what we did in the 90s to United. I mean, we always take the piss about, 2-1 in your cup final and all that sort of stuff. But I remember 2000, obviously in 2001, we won lots of things. But I remember the United game thinking, even if we don't win, we've won at Old Trafford. We've got that off our 10-year record. That's all gone. So I think if people want to be the first team to take points or beat Liverpool,
yeah,
that's a big deal for them. I made up it wasn't Moyes, obviously, because that was hilarious, the end of that game. But so yeah, I think they're going to try and kick us all over the pitch.
Be physical and try nick something early, hang on, or try nick something late after staying in the game.
I still think that's the only way to beat Liverpool: get an early goal and hold. That's all you're going to do.
Yeah, I think it's more and more difficult, isn't it, to hang on and try and nick something, because the more the game progresses, the more Liverpool have worn you down and the more chance of you making a mistake and Liverpool punishing you.
The ball never gets tired, as Shankly said.
Exactly. As we go and continue to not lay siege on people, but just continue to play our game, and our game makes you very focused. I'd be tired watching them. After 70, I need to go out and have a cigarette and come back in and watch them. So I can only imagine what the opposition feel like. Watford's team, though, I made a comparison with them and West Ham last week, where I felt that West Ham and Moyes weren't playing players in the position they should be playing and letting them do what they're good at. Whereas I felt Pearson was doing this with Watford. For the initial period when he came in, he was getting Delafeu into channels and running at people. He was using Deeney. He was trying to get Andre Gray going. Capoue, Decore, they were all doing quite well. Defensively, they looked fairly solid. It's fallen apart a little bit for them. They haven't won since I think I looked it up there a minute ago, January the 12th. And I think they've only taken probably 2 points in the last 6 league games. So are they on a slump that they're going to struggle to get out of, or do you feel tomorrow, 5:30, it's one of those where this is where they can break the shackles off and go, listen, we've 10 games left and it's either do or die?
I think they crumble at 1-0 Liverpool.
Okay.
Because I think then it's muscle memory. Oh, it's Liverpool 1-0 down already.
Yeah.
I think that's the way Liverpool are going to win in games now this season. I know that didn't happen on Monday night, but it looked like it might do. But a bit unlucky there, I thought. But I think that's what they're going to do.
Okay.
I think Liverpool scored the first game. It's a goal, it's all over.
Okay. That's a fair assessment, I think.
Because what's he do? How do you beat Liverpool? How do you beat Liverpool when you're behind?
When you're behind...
You can't work harder than them.
Well, usually...
You can't work any harder.
Usually what you do is you would try hang in and try nick something at the end. Your tactic doesn't change if you're 1-0 down. But I go back to it. When Liverpool are putting pressure on you and making you run, and after 70 you want the ref to blow a whistle because you're wrecked. Now you're 1 down and you can be tight. You can be tight, and if you're tight and compact against Liverpool, you're not going to score. Do you get what I'm saying? You have to be adventurous in some way. And if you go to be adventurous, that's where they pick you off. Liverpool's approach, pick me a team, because the back five to me is the same. The front three is the same. It's only the midfield that you really get an argument over.
Ronaldo, Fabinho. Do you want to play Lallana or Keita?
I'd go with Keita.
You haven't played Lallana for a while.
I'd go with Keita. I think that there's a lot being made of Keita's goal or game the other night against West Ham. Yeah, he was taken off. He wasn't the worst player on the pitch, not by a long shot, in the first hour or so. And don't get me wrong, Ox comes on, really has a directness about him, a purpose about him, and sparks us that little bit. But I still think Keita deserves, if he's fit, he deserves chances, I think, with Keita. Now, people will argue, no, Ox got in there and made his chance and deserves to start. But there might be an argument there that Rox is a better impact player, you know?
Yeah, because at 70 minutes, as you say, when you're tired, he's the last person you want to see come on because he's just going to run like a bull at you, head down. And he did that the first thing he did when he came on was absolutely leg it through the centre of the defence. So how do you work with that? He does annoy me sometimes, Chamberlain. This is going to be a popular view. Sometimes I do wish he'd stop shooting from 40 yards.
I wonder if it's a tactic.
He doesn't. I think it might be. Yeah, like he's going to get a knock off for Firmino or something like that. But I'm not saying that you can compare the two. But Jamie Redknapp used to do that. Jamie Redknapp was the master of just putting it past the post and making the cop go ooh. Just get one on target. But Chamberlain, that is his trademark, doesn't he? He likes a hard P roller.
Yeah, no, and like the way I'm looking at it, is it a tactic where he lets one off early and then you kind of say, oh, they might leave a bit of space and to have a shot because they don't trust him to score, and then he looks to slip people in. It's one of those. Avo says all the talk of Naby not cutting the mustard. I'll start that again. All the talk of Naby not cutting the mustard, and is it time for him to move on? What do you think? Do you think he's not suited to playing the system and is more suited to a 4-man midfield? Right, you asked that, right? And I'm going to tell you, one of our lads had an opinion yesterday with regards to Naby Keita. He's not even on Twitter, but it was put on Twitter on our timeline, and the place went absolutely crazy because it involved Philippe Coutinho. And there was, don't get me wrong, there was just loads of ridiculous comments sent back. But there was some good football ones as well, talking in and out. But what's your take on Naby Keita? Because where do you see it? Like, has he progressed enough since he's joined the club for you? Has injuries held him back? When we get to the end of the season, do we have to evaluate where he is? Do we go, no, everything's fine, continue on? If we get him in a run of games, he's absolutely fine. Where do you stand on it, Karl? I
think Naby Keita hasn't done well since he's been here. It's not entirely his fault. I think he's a bit... he does a few things that really annoy me. Every now and then, lift your head up and pass at the Milan Boris thing. But the Leicester City game on Boxing Day, he was absolutely brilliant. And I think he's just not settled. And people are talking about, get rid of him now. No, definitely not. Definitely not. We're not doing that. He needs time to settle in. I know this is his second season already, but he's had injuries and he's still reacclimatising. And he's clearly a quality player. But there are times when I just wish he was on the pitch, and he was on the pitch. I've had that a few times this season when I thought, maybe we should get Keita on. Oh, yeah, he's playing. Wijnaldum used to be a bit like that as well. Maybe he'll bring Wijnaldum on. Oh, he actually started. I just didn't realise he was on the pitch. He was that anonymous. So I think you're going to get things like that from him occasionally. So I'm sort of neutral. I don't do the Keita loving thing at all. I really don't. But I'm not writing him off either. He's just, I want to say not yet. He's not yet the Naby Keita I thought he was going to be. I remember I was at his debut against West Ham, and I thought, well, he played up front for a bit, and I thought he's fantastic. So, there's definitely a player there.
There's 100% a player there. He has all the tools. I was having to think about this today because, we all knew Naby Keita was coming to play for Liverpool. He did a year beforehand. He arrived at the start of last season, and in glimpses he looks very, very good. Don't get me wrong. He suffers a couple of injuries, especially one near the end of the season when he was on a decent run. He was on a decent run of form, let's be honest about it. He suffers an injury that keeps him out more or less till the end of the season, He starts off this season, he isn't treated well by his national side, let's be honest. I think he's been very unfortunate in the injuries he's got and the circumstances around him. Now, I always look at it and go, listen, I've said this about Joe Gomez for argument's sake. I want to see Joe Gomez go a season without, injuries and just playing, whether that's a 6 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10 every week, playing, and you can give him a full evaluation. Because last season, his season was broken up. This season was broken up for different reasons because he wasn't first choice and he was coming back from an injury in part of that. When it comes to Keita, there's definitely a player in there, 100%. There's no shadow of a doubt about that. The only evaluation I would make on Keita is listen, he could play the last 12 league games of the season or 10 league games or 11, whatever it is. He could be outstanding and we go, there's the player we're looking for.
Yeah.
If he gets to the end of the season and you're a bit, I'm not too sure, he was good here, he wasn't great there, the consistency probably isn't there, I start to wonder whether he fits this team. And what I mean by that is, the functionality of the midfield is extremely important to this team. And then I look at him and I go, don't get me wrong, he chases, he works hard, he wins the ball, he wins tackles, he gets forward when he's on form. But does he function that well in that midfield? That's the only question I would have over him, barring the injuries. Do you get what I'm saying?
I'd go a bit deeper, actually. I'd say, is this the league for him?
I don't know. That's my only kind of thing about it. Like, people do point to the injuries and people point to his Leipzig form. Now, pointing to his Leipzig form for me is a bit ridiculous. I'm going to put that out there because his Leipzig form, let's be honest, was 2016-17. 2017-18, he was not good for Leipzig. Anyone will tell you that they've watched it. Okay, he comes in last season. You give him a bedding in season, that's no problem. And this season, he's looked good in fits and starts. The injuries again. You may be right. Is it the league for him? He looked physically bigger at the start of this season. I thought that's a big improvement for me.
Yeah.
But I just don't know whether it just isn't right. The midfield isn't right. Could it be right if we went to fourth? We could sign a Werner. He could go a 4-2-3-1 and he could throw him in beside Fabinho in the 2. And you could go, there's a player. He runs around, he gets it, he's creative from deep, and he has those players ahead of him to do the business with him. That could be a thing. Maybe the system, maybe not. But overall, I think Naby Keita, for me, I'd love to see him the last 10 games of the season being fit, shows what you can do. I still, look, if you had to call it now, Karl, does he get another season?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course he does. Yeah, okay. Definitely.
All right, cool.
But my question for you would be, does he start at the Allianz semi-final?
Does he start at the Allianz against Bayern?
Yeah.
In a semi-final?
Yeah, that would be my question. Do you need is he that level? Yeah, where he plays those games?
No,
and that would be my issue with him.
No, and I think I'm
Villa at home, no problem with the league done all day.
Yeah,
knock yourself out, son.
No, you can't say that. But we played West Ham the other day, and he wasn't the worst player. Don't get me wrong, he was not the worst player. He was probably one of the brighter
Fabinho
sparks.
had a go, didn't he?
Yeah,
but
you know what the thing was, and like I said this the other day, and I know when you say things like that, you're going to get absolutely abused over it. I felt we missed Henderson, and people go, "Oh no, you're only saying that," and I went, "No,
I think we missed Jordan. If you know anything about the game, we missed Jordan Henderson. He's the tempo man.
He's the tempo man, but also I think he is the point where everybody picks their positions off. If you know what I'm saying. So when Henderson is floating around out there on the right, Trent knows where to be, Salah knows where to be, Firmino knows where to come, and Fabinho knows where to stand in relation, and Wijnaldum knows where to go as well. That's just my opinion. The other day, Fabinho looked a bit lost. Now, it's not Keita's fault. Don't get me wrong, it's not Keita's fault. I think Fabinho should have stood up and been way more responsible the other night with regards to where the other two men were around him, seeing as that he's seeing everything in front of him. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just do think we missed Henderson. If it comes to a semi-final, I'm picking Henderson, Wijnaldum, Fabinho all day long.
And for sure.
And the reason I'm being is it works.
Yeah,
you know, and
that's the only combination that is guaranteed to work. Which sounds weird when we've won 26 out of 27, I know, but that's the one I always feel more comfortable in. Those lads know what they're doing.
Yes, and the other
together
thing,
rather than individually.
Exactly, and if the function of the midfield is cast iron. Now, don't get me wrong, they were poor in Madrid, the three of them, but having said that, who wasn't? You know, the kind of way. And having said that, you know, they worked fine. I would have had a little bit more of a go over our front three in Madrid than I would have against the midfield.
Shot would be nice, yeah.
You know, so Dave O'Flaherty said he started against Bayern at home last season, in fairness. He did. And listen, I'm not saying that Naby Keita can't go and have great games for Liverpool. I would give anything for Naby Keita to turn around starting tomorrow evening and take this league a fucking sunder from here until May the 17th. And
the new Ronnie Rosenthal.
And everyone to turn around and go, what a fucking player. And I go, what a player. And that means then, if you want to leave a Wijnaldum out, you know this fella is absolutely on it. If you want to start him, he's absolutely on it. And Wijnaldum has to try to get a spot back, or a Henderson has to try to get a spot back. That's what you want.
I think Keita plays Tuesday.
In the cup.
Yeah,
we get on. Well, when we get, it'll be interesting. The lineup is going to be interesting on Tuesday, and I'll get to that in a couple of minutes. Stephen O'Connor says, Gav, 100%. I have to agree. It made me realise the importance of Henderson when he wasn't there last week. Just for me, I just felt that after probably 25 minutes, and you're probably better off saying it in your own head rather than saying it on social media, because it's A versus B all the time. You know what I mean? X versus Y, stuff like that. But look, going on the team, are we both agreed on Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Keita?
Yeah, I think so. Because I mean, I would have said Chamberlain or Lallana. I still think he might play Lallana again on Tuesday though. So he likes Lallana. He does really like Lallana. But I think probably right. It probably will be Keita, and with Chamberlain to come on and then shoot a lot from outside the box.
Okay, no worries. And
literally, that's what he'll do.
And the front three. And the front three as normal. Stephen Hackett reckon he doesn't have the work rate. I don't think. I'm not too sure. I think he has the work rate. This going back to Kate. Obviously, I think it's just. It may sound ridiculous, but he's 2/3 of the way through his second season, and I still think he's trying to find his feet in the system or trying to play and what's being asked of him. And that could be down to injuries, the language barrier, which I think is a bit of a mad one as well. But there's enough circumstance there for me to say, if you could just fix this and this by a couple of percent, we're absolutely fine. JJ reckons he's not physical enough. Again, I thought he was bigger. He looked bigger. He looked stronger at the start of the season. He definitely gets another season for me. 100%. I think there's too much there, too much potential there, and enough to work with to get it right where you could have a fabulous player in your hands. Prediction wise for tomorrow away at Watford, what are we going for?
2-0.
2-0. Want to give me some scores?
Mane and Mane. Because he's the greatest footballer in the world.
Mane. He is the greatest footballer in the world. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Liverpool win. I think we'll go ahead. I think we go 2 ahead and we might concede one late on.
Troy Deeney corner.
I think Delafeo's in decent form despite them being poor lately. I think he's a good player. So I'm going to go with a 2-1. I'm actually going to go with Keita to get one. And I'm going to go with Salah to get one as well. Chris Brack says same 11 as West Ham versus Watford. It won't happen, but I'd like to go close to full strength versus Chelsea with only max 3 changes. Stephen Hacker has 3-1 the Reds. If anybody's watching this on Periscope, please share onto your timeline. If you're watching on YouTube, please like. That's very important apparently. Please like it. Please subscribe and please hit the bell icon and you will know every time we go live. We do have Paddy Power charity bets that will be placed on this game probably around 5 o'clock, 4:30 probably when the teams come out. But if you do have any bets that you would like to recommend, simply go onto our Discord group, go to the Paddy Power charity bet and you will find everything you need to know there. Just lash in any suggestions you want and I'll pick out the best 3. As I told you last week, we're back to 0 amount raised because we bought loads of stuff for the food banks. That you see outside Goodison and Anfield, and that was delivered to them last Monday gone. So they were absolutely thrilled with that. They said thanks to everybody. I got a message back saying really, really, really appreciate it. So thanks to all the people that sent in the bets and made us some money for that. Chris Brack has 2-0 Liverpool, Salah and Bobby. Touching on the FA Cup. So the big thing is I have to ask this random Sherlock question. Karl,
go on.
If you are Sherlock Holmes, who would be your Moriarty? Who's Moriarty?
Question. Moriarty is his arch rival. He only appears in one story.
Okay.
And on one of the novels, and on both occasions, Watson meets him for the first time, which is impossible.
Yeah.
It would be my Moriarty. See, that's a difficult question because I can name people on Twitter, but I'd start a war if I did that.
Oh, go on. We'll back you up.
Everyone likes me. They really, really don't.
Yeah. We're the same, believe it or not.
I don't know. I usually say Trev for these things, but
Trevor just going, sorry man, I can't fight you today, man. I'm doing something with my head, and then
I've just bought a hat.
Yeah,
I can't do that. I don't know.
You can have.
I'll go with.
Go on.
Allerdyce.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's no problem.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I think it would be.
The Napoleon of crime.
I'd pay to watch it.
With gravy stains on his.
I'd pay to watch it.
Sure.
Let me see. Full team against Chelsea, please, says Alan McGibney. I don't think it'll be full choice. Fourth choice. We're going to go and have a look at this now. So we approach this Chelsea game, and again, I'm going to start with Chelsea the way I start with Watford. What way do you see these approaching this? Because they're out of the Champions League. Let's be honest about it. They were skilled the other night by Bayern Munich.
Yeah, absolutely battered.
They're looking. they're not just peeking behind them, they're fully looking behind it over their shoulder now with regards to the Premier League with the likes of United, Spurs, Wolves, Sheffield United. They're all in with a great chance of catching them, and you know they really, really need to get in there. Do they approach this with a case of, like you said, you reevaluate your season and you go, we have to go with top 4, we have to do this. An FA Cup would be great, but if an FA Cup in 6th just doesn't cut the mustard, what way do you see them approaching it?
If you think back to August, people were saying Lampard first season, top 8, and he's had a good season. If Chelsea get a top 4, I genuinely think that's one of their best achievements ever. When you bear in mind they were playing kids and they had a ban, I think he does everything he could for 4th place. That's what, if I was a Chelsea fan, that's what I'd be going for.
Yeah,
because they always win the cup anyway. No one cares who wins the cup anymore. So I think he'd rather get 4th place.
Okay. So with regards to the game on Tuesday, then, do you see them trying to use their squad a bit more?
I think so.
Yeah, because of crucial Premier League games coming up. Now, when I say try to use their squad a bit more, I'm trying to think of their squad.
Loftus-Cheek is the first one I can think of.
Well, he was on the bench against Spurs.
Yeah, I know he's been out. So I think that would be a good 90 minutes for him for that. Is Pulisic injured or? I
was wondering about him the other day because
because Abraham's been out. Because if Giroud's playing, then it means that Pulisic is out probably.
But he was more or less he was just playing Giroud instead of Abraham. And then, but I think he knocked her on the head after. I think he was kind of forced into that against Munich because of his performance against Spurs, and then he got Abraham on the pitch. I think you'll see Abraham back, but one of them will play. But then I kind of think through that team and I go, what have they got? They seem to have a really small squad, despite having 500 players in their books. Yeah, you know. Avo says his Moriarty is Roy the Owl Hodgson. It's not a bad show.
The Napoleon of books. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, it's not a bad show. So we think Chelsea are going to mix it up a little bit. And I'd like to see that, because if they mix it up a bit and we play what we've played in the FA Cup and probably drop 2 or 3 more in that are a bit more experienced, i.e. Matip, Lovren, and 1 or 2 others, I think we have a brilliant chance of going through this round. And then we have to start taking the FA Cup quite seriously. Although if we go through and moves the Palace game, which I know will upset a lot of people who have gambled on being in Liverpool that weekend.
Yeah.
Chris Brack would prefer Alisson, Williams, Gomez, VVD, Robertson, Keita, Wijnaldum, Minamino, Salah, Origi and Mane. He's gone really, really strong. That's a strong side. JJ says he feels Chelsea will chop and change. What are you going with? Try naming a team for Chelsea.
It's hard, isn't it? I was going to say it's close to the Everton Cup game. So Nico Williams definitely, Matip, Lovren, because they have got to play at some point. I know he brought Matip on. Minamino, Lallana. I don't know if Yossi's fit, the left back. I know he's been out.
Chiravella.
Yeah, Chiravella definitely. Deserves it. Just deserves it. And God, it's hard, isn't it? Yeah, definitely Curtis Jones, obviously.
Could he do something like
Origi?
Could he do something like a 3 at the back? Because if Larouci, although I haven't heard anything that Larouci's not fit, but didn't he play? Who did he? He played Larouci? No, we didn't. He played Adam. What's the young guy?
The other left back kid.
Yeah, Adam. He played. His name's gone in my head. He played him left back in the last game. I'm wondering, did he go with the 2 young fullbacks and put Lovren and Matip in there? But the only thing was, did he play Lovren and Matip away against Shrewsbury and they were atrocious?
No, they played Vandenberg, didn't they?
Not away.
Oh, away.
Away it was Lovren and Matip.
Yeah, Lovren, Matip, yeah.
And then he just went.
And Fabinho, where's 3 players on the pitch.
Yeah.
By a distance.
So I'm wondering, does he? I think he plays Adrian. I think he goes Adam Lewis.
Yeah, he's got to play Adrian.
Adam Lewis is the name I'm thinking of.
That's him, yeah.
So Adam Lewis, Nico Williams, Matip and Lovren. So then you have a midfield 3 of Chiravella, Lallana, Jones, and then up front you have Minamino, Elliott, Origi.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm all right with that. Yeah, I'm absolutely fine with that. Random questions. If you have any random questions, please throw them in now. We've about 5-10 minutes left and we'll go from there. So random questions, absolutely go. Alan McGibney says Williams to play. I think Nico Williams will play right back. I genuinely do. let me see. Alan asks, any hangover cures you swear by?
Yeah, don't drink in 2020.
Only between May and July and some of August, though.
But that's just going to be one hangover because that's just going to be a continual thing day and night.
So you're committing to just a 1 3-month hangover, or cumulative 3 months, and then one hangover. Yeah, I'm up with that.
Bearing in mind, I work for a cardiovascular charity, so that's probably not the wisest thing.
You may need to lay low while you're doing this 3 months challenge. But if I could, I would join you on it. And there's nothing that gives me more pleasure than celebrating with loads of cans. Hangover cures. People swear by cold pizza and a can of Coke. I know Sean.
To be honest, again, that works because it's carbohydrate and sugar.
Yeah.
The only way to do it really is drink lots of water the day before and sleep as long as you possibly can.
I know. I do. People do say drink a lot of water when you get home before you go to bed. It starts to rehydrate you when you sleep. I will say Lucozade Sport and 7-Up, not in the same glass. Drink them.
No.
One have a bit of one, a bit of the other, and keep going at that. I've that's been known. But I will tell you, my one personally would be some sort of takeaway food the next day is brilliant.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, you got to do that, yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant. Whether that's Chinese or whether it's from the takeaway, anything like that, I think is absolutely spot on. The pizza and can of Coke shout by Shawnee, he told us this last week, is absolutely is A1. There's nothing better than that. It's a good hangover cure. But they do say...
I won't ruin it for you, but if you want to go on Twitter and ask Gareth Roberts what his is, it's fantastic.
Okay. Right, okay, so we can get on to Gareth Roberts.
Don't everyone do it, because he's going to be completely stunned by that. Yeah, Gareth Roberts in the Amphield has got quite an unusual one.
Okay, so...
In fact, I might as well tell you, so otherwise he's going to get bothered. I think it's a sleep, Lucozade and a wank. A shit and a wank, that was it.
Okay, alright. Different. Okay.
Yeah.
No cold pizza involved there.
I hope he's not doing that in the office.
No. Well, I'd hope he'd I'll be in late, lads. See you in a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the worst hangover you've ever had?
Oh man, I've had a 3-dayer.
Yeah, I've had a couple where they've been.
Yeah.
Now, not so much since I've had kids, because you just can't.
No.
Your wife will let you away with so much when you're married and no kids and you're in the house, and she can go off about her business and you can just die for 2 days. But when you have kids, it's like, listen, I'm giving you till noon at the latest, and then you're getting up and dealing with these kids.
Noon.
That's about it. That's all
noon, 6 a.m.
With kids, like, they're up at any hour.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
My daughter gets up especially early on weekends just to annoy me.
Yeah, my mate just said to me, when the clocks go back in, and thinks they're getting an hour. No one tells babies that.
No. It's all programmed in to just get up at the same time. It's weird. But I've had really bad ones. I've had bad ones where, like, you're hallucinating and everything. You're the worst bit for me is when you get into bed and you try sleep and then you realise how drunk you are, and the whole room is literally spinning.
The spinning bed, yeah.
Yeah.
Quick 20 minutes on the spinning bed before you go to sleep.
Okay, yeah, no, it's people say Alka-Seltzer as well before you go to bed, and all sorts of stuff.
That's what you want to do, yeah.
Yeah, so it's mad. Avo asks, have you read my Discord question, Gav? I seen quite a long question there, Avo. I'll try to get it up before we finish. Alan says it's rag week next week, lads. Need all the hangover cures you can give me. Alan, let us know where you go to college. Let us know if it's near a Domino's pizza or an Apache pizza or a 4-star pizza, and then you need to plan from there. That would be my advice. Loads of cans of Coke in the fridge, as cold as you can get them.
Or Lucozade.
Or Lucozade of any type. And then you need to just know you will be left in silence in a slightly darkened room for the time required.
Brush your teeth a lot. That works for me for some reason.
Brushing your teeth?
Yeah, a lot during the day.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't know why it works, because, like, I don't know why that is. I think it's just because it's sort of cheating my mind that I woke up and I'm fresh.
Okay.
So if I just keep renewing that, then feels like I'm getting away with it.
Okay. Let me see. This is the question from Avo. Now, I don't know, this will be good for you because it looks like it has some Irish references in it. But anyway, here we go. Imagine the scenario, Gav. You're on the roof of a burning building and there's a building opposite that's 2 meters away. Obviously going back to where previous famous question, how far can you jump between buildings? The drop below is onto toasted bread or toasted bagels, because they are the hottest things in the world. And on the other building, there's a there's a murder of crows and some bloke on a double-decker camel throwing solid chocolate Easter eggs at you. Oh, you're bringing every reference for this show that's ever been. So, okay, you're on the roof, you're being attacked by crows, solid Easter eggs, and a bloke on a really tall camel is on the building. If you drop below, you're falling into recently toasted bagels, which are the hottest things in the world. Do you A, risk looking like a Northsider, which is a Dublin thing, and get your fancy bottle of water out to put the fire out? You wouldn't get a fancy bottle of water out if you're a Northsider in Dublin. Let's throw that out there before we start, and Andy will be horrified at that thought. Or do you B, throw an expensive mattress on the toasted bagels, we're going to call them, jump on the mattress with your expensive trainers on, and walk away in your expensively named leather jacket? Right.
I don't know what's just happened.
I ate the Y, to be honest with you. But I can't.
Yes, I'll say yes.
I can tell you that burning buildings, a person on a really tall camel, loads of crows, solid Easter eggs, fancy bottles of water, toasted bagels, mattresses, expensive footwear, and expensive leather jackets, which Andy has asked you all to go out and get a loan for, has been mentioned on this show before, so I really like all the references. What I would do is the mattress is 100% going down onto the toasted bagels, and I'm getting onto it and I'm getting away because I'm not going near crows or camels or anything like it. So that would be my answer to that question. I'm absolutely using the mattress to dive down. I know that Andy won't be impressed with that because Andy wants you all to take a loan out of £3,000 or euros, buy yourself a really good mattress, really good footwear, and a really good leather jacket. He reckons you can pay it over 10 years and there won't be a problem.
I do like Murder of Crows, though. I do like that collector's term. Do you know what it is for owls?
I'm not too sure, but Grizz is immensely afraid of crows.
Okay.
He's like morbid fear of crows. Why, I don't know.
They don't look friendly, you've got to say that.
Yeah. Alan says he's in Limerick, which is in the southwest of Ireland, and he says there's plenty of Domino's pizza around the place. Well, this is what you do: order yourself a pizza for that evening and don't eat it. Okay, get your food on the way home as you would, but order Domino's, order pizza and loads of cans of Coke, put them away, don't touch them, have your food as normal that way on the way home, fall into sleep, wake up with a hangover, and there is a full pizza there with loads of cans of Coke the next morning. It's absolutely brilliant, and that's what you want to do. Avo says, obviously that was references to shows gone by. It's mad when you make that list. It absolutely is mad. Max says we should get Avo to do the season review. Yeah, we absolutely could. Do you know what I want to ask you, Karl, before we go?
Go.
Do you know all these storms?
Yeah.
Why did he have stupid names?
Now, I've got a view on this. I've not been on Twitter for a bit.
Love it.
Because I've nicked it from someone else. Someone said that you should basically be able to name the storm yourself, right? Because they've got no link whatsoever with reality.
Mm-hmm.
So,
there was Kira, there was Dennis,
Dennis, and whatever this one is.
Well, the only thing is there was Kira, Dennis, which is C and D, so they go with the alphabet, right?
Oh, yeah.
And now they've E, F, G, H, I, and now we're up to Jorge, which is J. So have I missed 5 storms?
Mini ones.
Or are these storms that come out of America and they have loads of them and we only get
that's
a
probably
couple?
What it is, yeah.
Okay. When it got to I, and I'm disgusted that they don't call a storm in a teacup. I always wanted that to be called storm in a teacup. And I'm a bit disgusted that we've passed fucking I again and we haven't got to name it. You'd like to name your own one?
Yeah, so last week we had Storm Ruth Maddock.
Right.
Just because I think we should just mention 70s, 80s sitcom characters and give them storm names.
But what happens then if you go down and you meet me and you go, oh, what do you think of this Ruth Maddock on the way?
You've got your own name. You could say, well, how did you get on with Margot Ledbetter today from The Good Life? So
people will just have to cop on that when you talk about this, you're talking about storms.
Yeah.
So the most random sentence you will hear today, he will be referring to the storm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
How was your weekend? I had to stay in because of Lenny Bennett. You know, it was just.
Yeah. Oh, I'm up for that. I'm actually, the next storm that comes in, I'm just going to reference it as something else and tweet you about it. And go, Jesus, John Lennon looks mad this week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think the more obscure the name, the better.
Vera Duckworth is coming in hard at the weekend.
Oh, do you know what? It's
I like this game.
Fred Elliott. It's been really bad with Fred Elliott this week.
Elliott. Jesus, Mike Baldwin is looking rough this weekend. Stuff like that. Yeah, I'm into that. Into that. Alan McGibney says he drank Southern Comfort and Red when he lived in Dublin back in the 90s. Remember actually dying the next day. Do you have red lemonade in England? I don't think you do.
I've seen it. It's not a big thing.
It's huge in Ireland.
I have seen it, though.
Huge in Ireland.
What's cream soda, though?
Cream soda's white. Or transparent. Not white. Then it'd be PVA glue. But it'd be... it's white.
Green as a kid in Liverpool.
Green? No, the cream soda here is it's just white.
It's white here as well.
It looks like 7-Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was green in bottles in the 70s in Liverpool.
Yeah. I remember going to Vegas on my honeymoon, and New York, Vegas, and got to Vegas, and we sit in this lovely bar. My wife orders a vodka and Coke, whatever it was, and I said, can I have a Suddy and Red? And the woman looked at me as if I had 10 heads, and my wife looked at me as if I had more than 10 heads. She was like, red lemonade doesn't exist outside where we live. There's too many colourings in it. There's way too much shit in it. It just doesn't happen. So
isn't that just Tizer?
Yeah, like it's the same colour as Iron Brew.
Oh, okay.
But it's red lemonade. I don't even know if they must still do it here. They have to. You get it in pubs in Dublin. You'll see glass bottles of red lemonade.
Really, I've never heard of that before ever.
Yeah, and Southern Comfort with it is amazing. And Alan references Southern Comfort there. I always remember when I was about 15, going into Dublin City Centre the week before Christmas to buy obviously my Christmas clothes, as people do, and ended up with an older relation who was about 19, and we were sitting in a pub drinking warm Southern Comfort and Red because it was so cold out, and I just thought, yeah, that's great. And I really like it. I always have liked it. Avo shouts with McDonald's vanilla milkshake the morning after. Sorts his head right out.
Actually, you've got to say Iron Brew as well. That's your Scottish one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does work.
Yeah. Or isn't
it's pure sugar. That's why.
He says, isn't Iron Brew orange? It is red lemonade.
It is,
yeah. It's the same sort of concept. It's not like it's not really red. Do you know what I mean? It's more of an orangey kind of tinge of it, dark orange, I suppose. I'll get a bottle of it. And I'll put it on camera next week. When I get a chance.
Tweet a photo afterwards.
I will tweet a photo afterwards. But I'm definitely now, when a storm comes in, I'm making my own name up for it, and I'm going to be tweeting you. And I urge everybody that's listening to just name your storm and.
Let's reclaim our
tweet Karl. Yeah, don't let the authorities tell us what we can call our storms.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm not listening to the meteorological man. Thank you.
Okay, Alpine and Schofield, which are brands, used to be green in Liverpool.
Yeah, Alpine was mine. Yeah.
Right. So this was cream soda.
Yeah.
And it was green.
Yep.
Okay.
I remember when we signed Dalglish and he came to Liverpool and he couldn't get his head around the fact that it was green. Right. You mentioned it in the Kenny Dalglish annual.
Jesus.
I remember that really clearly.
Never know. Keith wants the storms to be exaggerated, like Storm Armageddon, Storm Destruction, Storm Chaos. And it's just
Storm Supernova.
Yeah. Like all that sort of stuff. The last thing we want to talk about, and if you have any more random questions, throw them in. I'll quick fire it at the end. Ronnie Moran, it would have been his birthday today.
Yep.
You want to talk about Ronnie Moran?
Ronnie Moran is... one of the greatest human beings ever to represent Liverpool Football Club, and I never ever tire of talking about him. And there's so many Ronnie Moran stories, but there's one clip on YouTube where I think it's 2012. Kenny's there anyway, and Jamie Redknapp goes back to Melwood, and he's just talking to the camera. Then he sees Ronnie Moran. And he shouts, "Bugsy!" And that was his nickname. And he goes off behind him, and he says, I'd recognise those legs anyway, Bugsy." And Ronnie Moran, because he's not well, you can say he's not well. He just looks at him and says, "What have I told you about coming here unshaved?" It's just one of the greatest things I've ever seen, honestly. Yeah. And he's smiling, but you see he's saying it at the same time. What are you doing? We shave here.
There's obviously the famous stories about him about the Awantis League medal, and I'll put them in the bin, and they don't mean anything,
The Mulby one at Norwich was great as well.
He just such a driven man from what I've seen, and if you go back, doesn't he take temporary charge when Dalglish leaves?
He
does. Back in 91 after Dalglish leaves, doesn't he take temporary charge for a game or two?
Yeah, when we beat Derby 7-1.
I think it's I have a way of Luton in my head.
I think that was it. Yeah, but I know when we beat Derby County 7-1. and we'd gone back to the top of the league, and the interviewer said to him, so you're back at the top, Ronnie? And it was obviously that Arsenal were going to win the league at that point. And he just said, so I believe.
Yeah.
Couldn't be asked, because he knows what it is.
Yeah.
No, so I believe. I also like the fact that he never says nil, he always says nothing. And we went there and we won 4-0. I love things like that.
Yeah. Ruthless man, but in the right way, I think, because...
I love the fact he refused to give Jan Molby, on his debut, refused to give him a massage at half-time because he wasn't good enough yet.
Yeah. It's just so driven. And people talk about the standards of Liverpool Football Club and the boot room and Shankly and Paisley and all these people, Fagan, Dalglish, you can go through them, keep going, you can go for ages. But Ronnie Moran was always there. He was always part of what was going on. And so many people, when he died, spoke about him, about how he was like the driving force. He was the man that kept everyone focused.
He's Liverpool. He is Liverpool, as far as I'm concerned.
You never walked off a training pitch or a football pitch thinking you were the best thing since sliced bread, because he wouldn't let you. And the way he looked at it was, you've done okay, but I'm not going to give you that. If you go and do it 42 times in the league and come back, and when you come back, I'll probably tell you the medal's worth nothing, because we start again for next. He had this.
He also once told John Barnes during the '88 season that he was all right, but he'd never beat Alvaro Smith.
Yeah, he's just.
I love that. John Barnes goes, "The fuck is Alvaro Smith?"
Yeah, he's just. It's just. Do you know what? He wouldn't suit today's game.
No,
because you can't say anything to anyone anymore. No. And he'd get himself into more trouble than anything else. Now, I'm not saying he would say stuff that would be wrong. It's just the stuff he would say. I don't think they have their skin isn't thick enough for it.
And bearing in mind that United once employed someone to go around and teach Patrice Evra how to open a tin of beans. Well, so it's not. It's a different planet, and of course the wage structure is different. They're not hungry enough anymore, and what have you. Which I know that sounds like your dad talking and everything, but it's different age, isn't it? And it's just drummed into more time. I'd also love to think about that. If he bollocked you, it's a good thing because it means he likes you.
Yeah.
And then Jamie Redknapp,
he's invested in you.
Yeah, and he stopped bollocking Jamie Redknapp, and he went out to Ronnie Moran and said, "I'm in trouble, Bugsy. Stop bollocking me." He said, "Yeah, it's because you're a good player now."
Yeah, he gets you to a level and he expects you to stay there. And if you stay there, you're fine. And if you don't, you'll know about it.
That's how David Hodgson left.
Yeah, well,
David Hodgson, he answered back and Ronnie Moran just very quietly went, "Well, that's the end of you."
And that will be the end of you. Yeah, absolutely. Avo says even Souness was scared of Ronnie Moran.
Yeah, I can believe that.
So I think he's. I don't know if he was. He may have been intimidated.
Just respect. You just listened to him when he spoke.
Yeah, and I don't know if he set out to be deliberately intimidating the people, but he just had a way, and he had standards that, standards and morals, I suppose, where this is what you do, and you have to realise the club you're at, and this is the level you need to get to and stay at and never let drop. And I think that's, and I think it's like we see the permanent kind of tributes to different people around the club at Anfield, Paisley, Shankly, statues, stuff like that. I'd love to see something permanent at anywhere, preferably Kirby, towards Ronnie Moran. I think he's an absolute great of Liverpool Football Club, and as you said, you feel he is Liverpool Football Club. Yeah,
it's a personification of it for me.
I'd love to see something when it comes to Kirby. I'd love to see something. I don't know, name a part of it after him. I don't know what that'd have to be looked at by the club, but I think he is definitely a man that deserves to have something set in stone, I suppose, with regards to Liverpool Football Club. I think that's it. I think we're done. That's a good hour. We've done very well. We've decided to rename Storms. We've worked out the colour of cream soda both here and there and now and in the past, which I think has been really, really good work. We've looked at Watford, we've looked at Chelsea, and we've cured...
Sam Allerdyce's Moriarty.
Yes, we've cured hangovers. We've literally set in stone what needs to be done for a hangover for a man in Limerick that's going to Rag Week next week. So I think overall it's been a very productive Friday night.
I think so.
Yeah, good. Karl, it's been a pleasure as always, and we will talk to you very soon. Hopefully when Liverpool only need 3 or 2 or 1 game to secure the title. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers.
Happy days. That's been the FB4 Daily. Enjoy, and enjoy the match tomorrow. We will be back on Sunday evening for the Fatback 4 podcast. It's probably around 9 or 10 o'clock. We will be back, as I said, Sunday. Monday will be the club, and we will go from there and see what happens. Over and out.